I just watched Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let's review it. First of all, I'm gonna do a non-spoiler first, and then I'll put a timestamp, and then I'm gonna skip the spoilers. But let's get right into it. This movie, rated 1 through 10, I give it a solid 7.8, 7.9. It was really good. Now, was it the best Spider-Man movie that we've gotten? Nope. No, 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 no. Very, very much overhyped in that category. However, I do need to watch it again, so my opinion might change drastically. Now, again, non-spoiler review, I think you could tell by the trailers, but this movie looks fantastic. This is some of the best looking Spider-Man that we've gotten since TASM 2, action-wise, suit-wise, everything, choreography, whatever. And this is some of the best writing that we've gotten plot-wise since Tobey. And that says a lot. The first half of this movie, some of the best Spider-Man that I've ever seen, period. Tom Holland said that he was taking notes from podcasts, taking notes from fans. And you are so able to see where he put his input in this movie because the scenes look insane. And let me just say, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but the chemistry between Zendaya and Tom Holland, very fucking good. Finally, for the first time, but I'll get into more of that later. We're still doing non-spoilers, so yeah, the first an hour and a half of this movie, very good. Might I say, almost flawless. But the ending really, really sucked for me. Again, I need to rewatch it again, and I have learned things after watching the movie that might change my opinion. But the way they handled the main villain, it didn't really make sense to me. The way they handled some of the side characters didn't make sense to me, and the way they just wrapped it up did not make sense to me. I will say this, Tom Holland probably gave his best performance ever, period, and his best performance in a Spider-Man movie that we've seen. And the way he plays Peter Parker in this movie feels more Peter Parker than I think any Peter Parker that we've ever gotten, maybe excluding a few. Now that's pretty much it for my non-spoilers, and let me just say this, I gave it a 7.8, 7.9. I need to rewatch it, okay? I've seen it once before opening day. I'm gonna see it probably 2 more times this weekend, and then I'll give a more thorough review, and my real score will probably come out. Just let it marinate. Let it marinate, because I think that it might be an 8, but it might go down, so who knows? Okay, spoiler time. If you haven't seen the movie, click off, go watch the movie, but spoiler review. And let's get right into the positives. First off, this movie, like I said, looks fucking flawless. Okay, there are a couple bits, but it looks so good. Especially my favorite scene, probably in any Spider-Man movie ever, when he, in the beginning scene, in the first like 3 minutes, is hanging upside down and the camera pans down and shows New York. That might be my favorite shot ever that I've ever seen in any spot. It was so beautifully done. And then the way New York in this movie feels vibrant. They must have took notes from The Batman, Matt Reeves' The Batman or something, because it actually feels like a city. Something that I've complained about throughout all of Tom Holland's films is that New York just feels kind of dull. And this one feels alive, and Spider-Man feels like he's part of the city. And like I said before, the first hour of this movie, it really is strong. I complain about the rogue gallery and the fact that there's like 50 fucking people and villains in this movie, but the way they handled it was perfect. I couldn't have asked for it better. They got rid of them in the first 30 minutes. They were just time skipping and like getting rid of villains in 30 seconds, saying, "Oh, Spider-Man, defeated Tombstone, then Scorpion," and they just got them out. What they showed in the trailer for that aspect, they did it really quick, which I really liked. They really got straight to the point of, hey, this is Peter's movie, and he's having one main villain. Okay, maybe some subplots here and there, but one main villain and trying to get his girl back. That's what I said. That I wanted, and that's what they did. And like I said, most of the things in the first half of this movie are really well explained, especially MJ and Ned, which I had a problem for them coming back into the movie. But the way that he kind of, tiptoes around them, and then there's a scene where it's shown in the trailer where he goes to a party and he introduces himself to them again for the first time. It was done wonderfully. When he was introduced back into their lives, it was done so well. Let me just say this. Zendaya and Tom Holland, I said this before, why is this the first Spider-Man movie where Zendaya and Tom Holland, a literal married couple, have actual chemistry, and they weren't even together in the movie at all? All of their scenes together made sense, and it didn't feel messy at all. And then towards the middle, beginning-ish of the movie, Zendaya played this role fantastically. I was talking shit about Zendaya. I am sorry. You did very good in this movie. because when Jean Grey possesses her because she has his possession power, she possesses Zendaya and tricks Peter Parker into thinking that's Zendaya, and it's really Jean Grey controlling her all along. That scene was amazing. The way that she plays Peter Parker and fools him and then kisses him on top of that, just for her to be Jean Grey the entire time, and she was saying, hold her, Peter. Hold her. I was locked. I caught it, but I was locked because I was like, dude, this evil bitch is a psychopath, bro. Oh, hell no. That happens to me, dude. Dude. Right away. I'm murking her right away. There's no way I'm letting that happen. And let me just say, when she confronts Peter about the note, I was locked and glued to the screen. My eyes didn't blink one time. That whole scene was acted to perfection, and I have zero complaints about that. Their chemistry right there made total sense. And then she brings him back to the apartment, and then they start going through this whole thing where Ned and him are becoming friends again, and it was just very well done. Actually, let me just credit Tom Holland one more time. Let me give you flowers. Tom Holland, this is the first movie that you actually did amazing in. Okay, this is the first real Spider-Man movie in my opinion. Let's forget about the other three. This is the new Spider-Man, and I'm itching for another one with you because you performed amazing. You gave us a killer performance, and I think this was the best Peter Parker that we've ever seen in a Spider-Man movie. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's get on to the negatives. This movie has a couple huge negatives. Hulk does not belong in another trailer in the MCU, period, point blank, period, forever. I don't know when, but forever. They ruined Hulk in this movie by showing him in the trailer. They gave us the entire fight in the trailer, and they did the same thing in Captain America where they should have kept Red Hulk out of the trailer completely, and yet they showed him, and it ruined the movie entirely. However, it didn't ruin this movie entirely. It just ruined that. Okay, the Hulk fight, yes, it was amazing, but they showed the entire 5-minute fight in the trailer, and then they just have Spider-Man talk Hulk out of being Hulk, which I kind of had a problem with. And then they just forget about Hulk the entire rest of the movie once he returns to Bruce Banner. They don't bring him up again. They don't ask how he's doing. It's just a whole plot line that just disappeared. Okay, Bruce Banner and Peter Parker in the beginning of this movie, when they first have the conversation about the inhibitor, beautiful. And then they just forget about it the rest of the movie, which doesn't make sense to me at all. Another major complaint. I know I said Sadie Sink is really good in this movie. She is. Her character is not. They wrote her terribly. The script that they gave her made no sense in a lot of the scenes because it just didn't feel emotional enough. Sadie Sink was acting her ass off, and the script couldn't follow up. It was kind of like how I'm doing right now when you're talking way too fast and the words just aren't coming out. Your brain can't comprehend what you're saying. That's exactly how it felt on screen. And then her sister that was captured, they needed to give her way more backstory because it didn't make you feel compelled by the villain at all. It's just like this bitch shows up, kills a couple people, and then Peter Parker is somehow convinced to help her. It doesn't make sense. But let me just go back to her sister. The actress is terrible. Sadie Sink outperformed her in every way. You really expect me to believe that that was her older sister or somebody that was supposed to be guiding Jean Grey the entire movie? Hell no. Bro, Sadie Sink acted so much better than her. She gave a way better performance, and the other actress couldn't catch up in that 2-minute time span when they were on the bench talking to each other and supposedly giving us the backstory of the movie. That part didn't make sense. And then the end just kind of lost me because they do have this moment where they're talking and Spider-Man talks her out of it, out of killing the dude, whatever. And then Jean Grey just disappears the rest of them. Like, for the end of the movie, we just don't know where she went. After Tom Holland gets shot, by the way, he gets shot by Punisher. I don't know why they added that at all. It was kind of a stupid decision. It kind of just felt forced, like they put that in there. But then Jean Grey just disappears. And now I have heard that she is this major character and she might have a huge role in the next coming movies. So that might make more sense. But this didn't feel like a fleshed out Spider-Man movie. The conclusion didn't make sense. They didn't wrap it up properly. They left like 3 plot holes unanswered. Again, I don't like how they even handled Zendaya in the end of the movie. Why is he not going to go talk to MJ again? I was waiting for him to pull up on that rooftop to go, riz up his bitch, and it never happened. And I don't know why. And like I said, the second half of this movie really started lacking, and it didn't feel completed at all. but it doesn't take you out of the movie. It doesn't. It might here and there, but the whole movie as itself, it was really good. I think this is this. I obviously have my biases. I think TASM 1 and TASM 2 are so highly underrated. However, in terms of just plot, this is the best that we've gone since Spider-Man 2. I will say that. And just to like kind of conclude this, I do have some nitpicks. This might just be like tedious for a lot of people. First of all, in the beginning, I said this movie looked amazing. It does. The action, the sequences, all of it looks spectacular. Except I did catch it one time where he was chasing Jean Grey in the beginning when she was going after Scorpion, Scorpion's helicopter that was taking off. When he like pulled up, he like pulled up, it looked so fake. And that was the one time that I was really thrown out of the movie. I was like, dude, that looks like dog shit. You couldn't have put like $2 more into production or something in that scene. Another nitpicking thing, the action's spectacular. The move, it feels like a Spider-Man video game, borderline, but some of the moves in this are insane. However, I did like there's too many slow-mos in this movie, and it's almost like ramp it up a bit because like the shots were amazing, but then every 5 seconds you're just getting a really slowed down like Spider-Man move, and it just kind of like it's like all right, dude, like let me see some actual choreography. And then another thing, the music, it was good. It was good. You had Bad Bunny, you had Tame Impala. It had great music in the movie, except none of the music really felt like like Spider-Man themed at all. Again, these are nitpicks. Let's just wrap it up. I rate the movie really high. It was a really solid Spider-Man movie. I need to go watch it again because I think I have an itch, and usually when I have an itch to go watch a movie, it means the movie's pretty fucking good. So I'm gonna go watch it again. I'm gonna go indulge. I'm gonna go rethink. I'm gonna go ponder, and then I'm gonna, maybe give some more insight on this movie. It's like the beginning up to an hour and a half, strongest Spider-Man we've ever gotten. An hour and a half to 2 hour mark, what the fuck are we doing, to be honest? But it's like this. The positives are up here, the negatives are really down here. So then you kind of get that 8 score, okay? 7.7.9. Other than that, subscribe.